XRP price surges after Federal Reserve rate cut, the market reacts instantly, traders flood in, investors shift sentiment, the news sends shockwaves across crypto markets, Bitcoin rises slightly but XRP takes the spotlight, the asset jumps by over 1.5% in just hours, momentum builds, analysts highlight liquidity inflows, buyers dominate order books, market makers adjust spreads, volatility spikes, energy is electric. This is not just a minor move. This is the beginning of something bigger. Fed policy directly influences risk assets, rate cuts lower borrowing costs, liquidity returns. Institutions seek yield, crypto benefits most, XRP positioned uniquely, Ripple's partnerships align with this macro backdrop. The stage is set for significant price action. Fed Chair Jerome Powell signals possible further easing, markets anticipate multiple cuts ahead. Global investors watch closely, bond yields fall, equities jump, dollar weakens, capital rotates, crypto shines, XRP accelerates, demand visible on exchanges, volume spikes across Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, whales move funds, accumulation patterns emerge, order flow shows strong buy pressure, retail investors follow the trend. FOMO spreads, narratives shift overnight, XRP headlines dominate news feeds, social media erupts, influencers declare a breakout, traders post charts with bullish flags, double bottoms, RSI reversals, MACD crosses, all indicators flash green, technicals align with fundamentals. This is where stories converge, macro policy meets utility, XRP thrives in liquidity-driven markets. Traders compare to previous Fed cut cycles. In 2020 XRP rallied hard, in 2018 different outcomes, but today conditions are unique, regulatory clouds clearing, ETF speculation soaring, Ripple partnerships growing, Fed policy easing, convergence fuels narrative, excitement builds further, psychological barriers break, $3 tested, resistance in play, support strengthens at $2.80, tight range compresses, breakout likely, traders bet big, derivatives volume rises, open interest surges, funding rates shift, perpetual futures show bullish skew, institutions cannot ignore. CME Group reports record interest, Ripple's CEO celebrates milestones. This rate cut is the ignition, sparks fuel fire, XRP rockets forward. The market feels alive again, momentum is undeniable, traders whisper this is only the beginning. The end of the year could be explosive, narratives of $5 to $10 emerge, bullish sentiment floods in, XRP's role as bridge asset highlighted, remittance corridors expand, stablecoin adoption grows, Fed policy intersects with Ripple's strategy. This surge marks a pivotal turning point. Investors who ignored XRP regret missing the move, analysts warn corrections will happen, but long-term trajectory is clear, XRP aligned with macro tailwinds, traders prepare for next leg up, optimism stronger than ever, conviction rising, momentum here to stay, all eyes on XRP, the surge just started. And the story is only beginning. XRP momentum builds further, traders analyze deeper, this is not noise, this is structure. When the Federal Reserve cuts rates, liquidity cascades into assets, and crypto is the fastest responder, XRP at the center. Analysts describe this as a liquidity magnet. Every Fed policy shift amplifies volatility, traders positioning for the next wave, order books show walls collapsing, buyers push higher. Sellers trapped, shorts liquidated, cascading green candles ignite across the chart, volume bars tower, RSI climbs from oversold to neutral to overbought territory, signals confirm strength. Moving averages align, the 20-day crosses the 50-day, golden cross whispers grow louder, technical traders watch intently, XRP consolidates briefly at resistance then pushes through, every minor dip bought aggressively, whales reveal their hand, data shows billions moved into XRP wallets, accumulation ongoing, wallets above 10 million XRP surge, whale clusters expand. Signals of confidence impossible to ignore, institutions active again, exchanges show inflows slowing while outflows rise, cold, wallets stacked, signs of holding not selling, bullish conviction overwhelming. Meanwhile macro narrative continues, the Federal Reserve signals further easing, Powell indicates inflation risk controlled, markets interpret as green light, equities extend rally, Nasdaq surges, S&P strong, Dow climbs, capital flows everywhere, bonds weaken, yields drop, liquidity spills outward, crypto shines brightest, Bitcoin leads headlines but XRP captures attention, mainstream media starts to cover. CNBC segments highlight XRP move, Bloomberg analysts speak of breakout potential, Financial Times mentions Ripple's progress, credibility growing, mainstream investors learning. XRP is not just speculation, it is utility, adoption deepening, corridors from Asia to Europe expand, Middle East banks trial XRP rails, Africa experiments with stablecoins backed by Ripple, narratives build like bricks, one on top of another, constructing a fortress of confidence. The Fed cut the spark, but Ripple's ecosystem the engine, synergy undeniable, technical landscape grows richer. Traders highlight the symmetrical triangle forming on daily charts, compression tightens, breakout. Probability increases, Bollinger Bands narrow, volatility squeeze evident. When bands contract, expansion follows, traders expect explosion, XRP perfectly positioned, support levels hold steady, $2.80 becomes fortress, bid stack, sellers weaken, supply shock narrative rises, fewer XRP on exchanges, escrow releases predictable, Ripple transparent, confidence grows, compared to other altcoins XRP shows maturity, no hidden supply, no surprises. This clarity reassures institutions, narrative grows, analysts publish targets, $3.50 near-term, $5 mid-term, $10 speculative horizon, optimism flows. But it is not without warnings, skeptics point to resistance walls, macro headwinds possible, geopolitical tensions remain, Fed could change course, inflation risk returns, markets fragile, yet XRP thrives in volatility, resilience proven, every challenge faced. From SEC lawsuit to global banking criticism, XRP survived, not just survived, evolved, stronger than before. Investors reminded of past, in 2020 when markets panicked XRP rebounded, in 2023 SEC lawsuit climax XRP surged, history shows. Resilience, patterns repeat, investors emboldened. Community sentiment surges, social media buzzing. Hashtags trending, hashtag XRPArmy stronger than ever, charts circulate across Twitter, TikTok influencers post price calls, YouTube analysts stream live charts, audience explodes, excitement contagious, retail jumps in, volume grows further, meme coins fade from spotlight, serious capital flows back to XRP, maturity narrative spreads, investors whisper this is institutional grade, not hype. Real rails, real banks, real payments, momentum unstoppable. Meanwhile derivatives markets show fireworks, perpetual futures open interest surges, funding rates rise, traders pay premium to stay long. Bullish bias evident, liquidations accelerate for shorts, cascading effects magnify move, options data shows call volume surging, strike prices of $4 and $5 popular, expectations elevated, implied volatility spikes, traders betting on explosive moves ahead. This is not isolated retail activity, institutions playing too, CME data supports, futures contracts expanding, whales positioning in silence, calm on surface but currents underneath massive. Ripple leadership celebrates progress, CEO Brad Garlinghouse emphasizes resilience, tweets align with macro optimism, legal victories behind them. Future in focus, CLO Stu Alderity highlights regulatory clarity progress, optimism grows, Ripple positioned perfectly for next phase, Fed easing fuels adoption narrative, banks and institutions desperate for efficient rails, Ripple answers, XRP the tool, cost-efficient, scalable, compliant, eco-friendly, narratives converge perfectly, timing impeccable, rate cuts align with utility surge, story unstoppable. Traders analyze fractals, compare charts to previous bull cycles, 2017 fractals resurface, 2020 patterns repeated, speculation rampant, history doesn't repeat but rhymes. An XRP chart rhyming again, weekly candles show bottoming structure, double bottom confirmed, neckline breakout pending, macro plus micro align, confluence undeniable, momentum unstoppable, RSI still room to run, stochastic oscillator bullish, MACD momentum flips, everything points higher, conviction grows, sentiment transforms, bears silenced, bulls dominate, conviction not just words. Reflected in price, chart speaks louder than voices, and chart says breakout investors globally react.